we call them front of humans? Anterior. You never, ever, ever, ever hear this called ventral in a human. Okay, anterior. So here's your anterior side. So this is the pulmonary trunk. This is the aorta. Superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. What's this thing? Trachea. What are these? No. Pulmonary arteries. These are pulmonary veins. There it is. Left common carotid artery. Left subclavian artery. Okay, so pulling this off, as we look inside, we can see that how thick is this compared to this? Skinny, fat. So this is the right side. Okay, so right side, which means, okay, this is right side over here. Okay? What's that? Big fat blue blood vessel up the front. Pulmonary trunk. Why am I listening to you guys? Pulmonary valve. There it is. What is that? Aortic valve. This is the tricuspid valve. This is the bicuspid valve. These are chordae tendineae. What's the function of chordae tendineae? To keep the valve from blowing back up into the atrium. Okay? Keep the valve from blowing up. What are these? Papillary muscles. What's in here? Trabeculae carnae. Okay. What chamber is this? Where did the blood just come from? Pulmonary veins. Okay. Where's blood going to? Okay. Boy, oh boy, I'm gonna have to see how particular they are. I'm gonna have to be more specific, aren't I? What's the next chamber it will be in? Left ventricle. Okay. What chamber? What valve did it just go through? What's the next valve it will go through?
Aortic.
Aortic valve. Aortic valve. Okay. What's that indentation right here? It's past a week old. Fossa ovale. That's the one that's going to close over. It would be foramen ovale in an embryo. What's this? What's this?
Pulmonary. Inferior vena cava.
If this doesn't close up properly in somebody, it becomes what? Yeah, very close, very close. Not atrioventricular because it's not between the atrium and the ventricle. It's between the two atria, so it's atrial septal what? Defect. Good. Okay, it's an atrial septal defect, which is commonly known as what type of problem?
Heart murmur.
It's a heart murmur. Okay, it's a heart murmur. Okay, so when you ever hear of people with holes in their heart, it's here. It just didn't close up right. It's a developmental problem. It's not a genetic problem. It's just strictly a developmental problem. Okay. Is it fixable? Yes. That is really actually very cool system that it's like two flat discs, right? They look like big buttons, two flat discs with kind of a... Have you ever seen an empty spool of thread? Like an old school spool of thread, where it's got that skinny little thing like this and then the two discs like this? That's what the structure looks like that they use to fix it. Okay? So they just stop up both sides and it's connected by this little thing. Actually really cool.
Can you get it from smoking?
No. Sorry, little parent. I had it way before I started smoking.
No, that wasn't.
Oh, no, it's a developmental
I think
issue.
my grandma did that.
Yeah, she was born with it. It didn't close up at birth. Yeah. And they watch you really, really closely when you go through your growth spurt. Because at that time, everything's growing very, very quickly, very rapid growth going on at that time. And, that hole can go whoop and get a lot bigger, or it could just stay the same size, or what happens most of the time, it closes up during that period. So, but no, it's not from smoking. It's just a developmental defect. Okay. What's that? Ligamentum arteriosum. What was it embryologically? Ductus arteriosum. Okay, same word. Just ductus in the front instead of ligamentum. What are these? Oh, I didn't show them on here. Big and giant, and I completely didn't show them. What's that? The right auricle. Left auricle, what do I know is directly underneath here? Right atrium. These are right on top of the atria. Okay, so tell me when I get to the anterior side. Okay, how do you know? Got a big diagonal right here, right? Cardiac vein. All right, what is this? Pulmonary trunk, always the front, always on the most anterior side. Pulmonary trunk, aorta, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. So this one is actually much more clear for these. What are these? Pulmonary arteries, because it's coming right off of the trunk. So this one's kind of much easier to see than the other one, okay? Then these are pulmonary veins, okay? Get this off. Oh. Coronary arteries. Okay, coronary arteries. Right here. So that would be the very first branch off of the aorta before it even completely exits the heart. Then you would say, hello? Then you would say coronary arteries. Okay, inside here. Pulmonary valve, aortic valve. Okay. What valve is that? Chamber? Right atrium. Left atrium.
Right ventricle, left ventricle.
Bless you. I don't like them. What is that? Papillary muscle. Yeah. What side of the heart is that? Posterior, good. One, two, three.
He's called trunk.
Left common carotid artery. Right common carotid artery. If I turn this, well, I don't have to turn it around. So what is that one? Right subclavian artery. Right common carotid artery. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Superior vena cava. Inferior vena cava. That. Ligamentum arteriosum. What's the embryological structure called?
Ductus
arteriosus. Chamber. What valve is that?
Tricuspid. Bicuspid.
What are these strings? Chordae tendinate. What's their function?
To keep the valves from blowing up on themselves.
Keep those atrioventricular valves from blowing back up into the atrium. What's this? Hard to tell from there, I'm sure. Papillary muscle. What is that? Pulmonary valve. Aortic valve. Okay, so where'd the blood just come from?
The
Left ventricle. Where's the blood going to?
to the lower. The
body. Okay? You can't say any more definitive than the body. Where did the blood just come from? Head and arms, rather. Where's the blood going to?
Right atrium.
What's the next valve it'll go through?
Bicuspid.
Tricuspid valve.
Tricuspid.
What valve did it just come from?
Aortic.
Yeah, good. Let's see. Where's the blood going to?
The lungs.
Not yet. Pulmonary arteries. Where did the blood just come from? Right ventricle. What valve did it just come through?
Bicus.
Pulmonary valve. What's the next valve it will go through? Bicuspid valve. Okay. Get that? Some of you are like, I don't even know what the hell she's talking about. You're not alone. You better practice your tracings. You have to know your tracings. What's that? Pulmonary trunk. Pulmonary valve. Aorta. Superior vena cava. Varicose valve trunk. Left common carotid artery. Left subclavian artery. Inferior vena cava. Aorta. Liver. Spleen. Kidney. Is that all I would do?